Hello, and welcome to the Salesforce Center podcast by MassMailer, where we connect with Salesforce experts, customers, and innovators to talk about smarter, more effective email communication within Salesforce. I'm your host, 𝗟𝗲𝗧𝗦, co-founder of MassMailer. In this episode, I'll be joined by 𝗟𝗘𝗘𝗧𝗦 from Retirement Planners of America, a valued customer of MassMailer. Aaron will discuss his experience with MassMailer for Salesforce and how it has enhanced their client outreach efforts. Let us dive right in.
We're Retirement Planners of America. We are a retirement advisor form, an RIA, registered with the SEC. We work primarily with those who are close to retirement or in retirement, and we help manage their investments and ensure that their nest eggs that they've built their entire lives last as long as they do, and throughout retirement, make sure they can maintain lifestyles that they choose and things of that nature. One thing that we do on a regular basis is we send our weekly newsletters to all of our client base as well as our prospect base. We have, I want to say 9,000 individual clients that we send our newsletters to every Friday. And we use MassMailer for that. Before we had MassMailer, we were actually using Salesforce Marketing Cloud, but the cost for the tool outweighed what we used it for. Salesforce Marketing Cloud is a great tool. It's also very expensive, and it comes with a lot of features that we weren't necessarily looking for, nor did we use. And so it didn't make sense for us to continue to pay such a high price tag for something that we didn't necessarily use to its fullest capacity. We found MassMailer, and given the ability to be native in Salesforce and send from multiple objects or really any object in Salesforce, and the ability to develop our own list views and kind of maintain our domain reputation through the out-of-the-box functionality from MassMailer, it was a good fit. And since we've switched over, it's been an easy process, a scalable process, something that we can teach pretty easily to those that need to be involved in the MassMailer side of things within our Salesforce environment. And yeah, it's been great.
Wow, wonderful.
So our clients get those newsletters every Friday. We have about 50,000 prospects that we email every Friday as well. Our deliverability has been pretty solid. MassMailer does a good job of maintaining it, or helping us maintain our domain reputation. It creates those suppression records and stops MassMailer from essentially emailing people that have opted to unsubscribe. It's not something that we have to really think about. We can just know that it's going to be handled automatically rather than having to kind of watch that. We still monitor it and keep an eye on it, but it's the tool does most of the work for us. So that's been really great.
So I see that you have multiple domains that you're using, like IP, multiple IPs. Okay. So you're using that for one for regular newsletters going out to your clients versus prospects, yeah?
Correct. Yeah. We maintain two separate domains. One we use strictly for client communications, and the other for prospect communications.
Okay, perfect. And I see that you have read-only users as well. So basically you're given the visibility to other users who are not really sending out emails. Is that what it is? Or?
Correct. Yeah. So in our use case, we've established myself actually as the main point of contact and person responsible for utilizing the MassMailer tool. But we want to maintain visibility to those who are on the front lines having, face-to-face conversations with clients or conversations on the phone. So they have visibility into the emails that have been sent to them using MassMailer. Is ever an issue with a client who says that they're not receiving their emails, those on the front line can look and easily see what exactly is happening, and they can relay that back to me to, investigate the issue further if they need to.
And how about reporting? So do you have ability to look at all the metrics and all the campaigns that are running and how they're performing?
Yeah. In our use case, we use, we're pretty simple. We mostly use list views, but there are circumstances with our events team where we're going to be utilizing campaigns. So if we have, specific client appreciation events in different markets, we create individual campaigns, and we can maintain the separate lists of the emails that we want to send to in those campaigns. And within that, you can actually track the opens and clicks and all the different email activity that occurs, and you can keep it segregated on a market to market basis. it's been nice.
So if you were to articulate the benefits, what you got from us, it's basically time and money, or money.
Yeah.
You obviously mentioned that you're saving a lot because you were using Salesforce Marketing Cloud, which was expensive and was having maybe too many features that you really don't need. All you were doing is just email marketing. So that's one cost savings for sure. Any other benefits that you can think of?
Well, if you, it depends on how you want to have that kind of conversation. But the way I look at it is, if there were ever to something happen to my domain reputation, email deliverability, not being able to communicate with our clients would cost us dearly.
Mm-hmm.
And so, just having that peace of mind of knowing that there's still safes built into the tool that kind of help you along the way, and you kind of have that safety net of knowing that, your domain reputation is not really, unless you decide to abuse the tool, which I don't see why you would want to do that, but it has those fail safes for you, so you can just kind of be rest assured that.
Okay. And how is the deliverability with Salesforce Marketing Cloud, if you want to compare?
So when we were using Salesforce Marketing Cloud, one of the biggest problems we had is the UI at the time. This was a few years ago, so I don't know if they've changed since then. But the UI and the ease of use, the friendliness, new employees, those that weren't necessarily familiar with Salesforce Marketing Cloud, it just posed its own challenges. Obviously, being a more complex tool with more features, there's a lot more that can go wrong. And so we found that pretty cumbersome for us. And if somebody wasn't necessarily well-versed in Salesforce Marketing Cloud, it was not very user-friendly in our opinion. But with that being said, we did notice that our email deliverability was starting to really suffer towards the end. And our biggest hang-up was trying to get support from Salesforce Marketing Cloud. It seemed to be, kind of one of those scenarios where you're just another customer, and they'd get back to us, but it was not very timely, and we just felt that the support was not there, especially with the costs that we were paying into it. Sure. It didn't kind of match up. And when our email deliverability started to suffer, our domain reputation had actually taken some hits. I do believe we needed some work in that regard. And so with the lack of support and the high cost, we decided to look elsewhere. And that's when we found MassMailer. And then it's been greener grass.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, it's always a pleasure talking to customers, understand how they use the tool. Sometimes, you're so busy with the product and all of that, and you kind of lose track of, why are they actually using MassMailer? I think to myself, if somebody asked me, so I thought, okay, I have to check with Anne and see how they're actually using it and what kind of benefits that they're getting in the organization and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, wonderful. And onboarding is easy, like if you ever need to bring in new users, whether it is read-only senders.
Yeah, because I just feel that it integrates well with, our, at least in our use case, our Salesforce environment, the related lists and the way it can integrate in roll-up summaries and things of that nature on the given account objects or lead objects. It just makes it pretty user-friendly. And then for those that do actually need to send emails, it's a pretty structured UI that really makes it easy to follow. And the MassMailer template builder is pretty standardized. It's got all the same stuff that you would normally see in something like MailChimp or things like that, and just very user-friendly. So
Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for all your good feedback. And, we take it for sure, and we want to make it much more robust. And, all right. Thank you so much, and I appreciate it. Thanks for waiting.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Seema.
Take care. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Salesforce Center podcast by MassMailer. We truly appreciate your time and interest. If you'd like to learn more about how MassMailer can help you simplify and supercharge your email outreach in Salesforce, visit us at massmailer.io or give us a call at 1-800-297-0991 or send us an email at hello@massmailer.io. We would love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm 𝗟𝗲𝗪𝗏, and we'll meet you again in the next episode of the Salesforce Center. Take care.